I'd like to share with you a story about the parents of Rav Elimelech Lizhensk in honor of his upcoming yahrzeit. The home of Rav Eliezer Lippman and his wife in the small town of Tiktin, Poland, was a place where all sorts of people wanted to come to. Whether it was a rich person passing by in business, or poor people, or vagabonds, they all would come to his home, and they were treated respectfully in the small inn that Rav Lippman and his wife owned. One time they heard a tremendous noise and tumult outside their inn. They walked outside, they saw a large group of vagabonds, really undesirable people hanging around there. Rav Lippman walked over to them and saw these strangers, and they really looked in horrible condition. Their clothes were in rags and tatters, and their beards were all straggled, and they looked like they had really just come from a very long journey, and they were worn out. With much compassion, the couple took them in, received them warmly, gave them good food and refreshing drinks, and they had calmed down a little bit. Finally, after eating, one of the visitors said, we need to take a bath to clean ourselves after this long journey. Rav Lippman and his wife, they were so happy to do this further mitzvah of Achnasas Archim. They ran to the bathhouse to heat large quantities of water to bring to their guests, and they brought it back to the inn for the people to bathe. But they noticed one person among the group who looked especially agitated. He looked very sick. His body was deformed. His whole body was covered with these large, unsightly sores and boils from head to toe. He was a leper. He was very weak, and he was asking his friends to help him wash himself, but they didn't want to do so. But to Rav Lippman and his wife, there was no such a thing as saying no to a yid that needed their help. And on their own, they started to give this man a warm. When they finished, the grateful guest turned to them and said, "In return for your kindness, let me give you a bracha, a blessing that you should merit to have sons like me." They were a little bit surprised, but soon they could not find this man anymore. Rav Lippman turned to his wife and said, "Hashem has put us through a test." And indeed, they were rewarded for having the two special sons, Rav Elimelech Lizhensk and his younger brother, Rav Zusha of Hanipol. And Rav Elimelech Lizhensk, who cared for every yid in Klal Yisrael, and that's why thousands of people go to his kever every year to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the schus of this great tzaddik who helped people when he was alive, and so too now after his passing. This year, even though it's very difficult to get to Lizhensk, Yad L'Achim already has messengers there, and you can submit your names for absolutely free through Yad L'Achim's website, yadl.org. There's no minimum donation required for a kvittel to be placed at the cave of the holy tzaddik of Elimelech Lizhensk on his yahrzeit. So please take this opportunity, go to yadl.org, give your names for tefillah, and the schus of the heilige Elimelech Lizhensk. May all our tefillahs be answered.